Exercising is good for your health, but sometimes you can get injured when you play sports or exercise. Accidents, poor training practices, or improper gear can cause them. Some people get hurt because they are not in shape or because they don't warm up or stretch enough. Another cause is overtraining syndrome, when a player trains beyond the ability for the body to recover easily. The most common sports injuries are sprains and strains, knee ligament injuries, swollen muscles, Achilles tendon injuries, pain along the shin bone, rotator cuff injuries in the shoulder, and rarely fractures and dislocations. If you get hurt, stop playing. Continuing to play or exercise can cause more harm. Make sure that you consult a doctor when the pain is very bad, when the injured area is swollen, when you are limping, the range of motion of the joint is limited, or when the pain is getting worse day by day, or when the pain is lasting for a week or more following an injury. Treatment often begins with rest, ice, compression and elevation, abbreviated as RICE. These help to relieve pain, reduce swelling and prompt faster healing. Other possible treatments include pain relievers, plaster or splint to give rest to the injured area, rehabilitation and sometimes surgery. Often, the first question after a sports injury will probably be, when can I play again? This depends on the type and severity of the injury. Even if you can't return to your sports right away, a doctor or physical therapist might have suggestions and advice on what you can do to stay fit. Always check with your doctor before trying any activity following an injury. How can we prevent or reduce such injuries? Because prevention is always better than cure. Always perform proper warm-up and cool-down routines. Strengthen the specific muscles you use during your specific sports. Increase your flexibility by stretching before and after games and practices. Drink plenty of fluids before, during and after exercises or play to maintain hydration and to minimize cramps. Use properly fitting protective gears specific for your specific sports, such as helmets, pads, face guards, etc. Take breaks during practice sessions and games to reduce the risk of injury and prevent heat illnesses. Always use the proper techniques as advised by professional coaches and trainers. If you still get injured, we take a pledge, we'll treat you well.